Thomas Jefferson Museum. I am your tour guide, Marisol, and I will take you through the life of one of the most important men in the United States. Since the time he was a smart boy, writing one of the most important documents of the United States to the end of his serving journey. 1943 in Albert County, Central Virginia, on a farm called Shadwell. His dad, Peter Jefferson, was a farmer and owned lots of land. Therefore, he had a lot of room to play outside in the field and in the forest, which is represented by the trees in the background. At the beginning, they only had 5,000 acres. His family was wealthy, and his family made sure he had the best education in anything he wanted. He played the violin every day, 3 hours till he was 12. Thomas was very smart, and he also had a tutor who was James Morey, a well-recognized man who at the age of only 9 was helping Thomas study Latin, Greek, and French. Here is a picture of Thomas Jefferson playing the violin. Here is a picture of the William and Mary College in Williamsburg that he went to at the age of 16. He later moved on to studying law in 1763 and learning from George White. He became a skilled farmer, planter, and lawyer. Thomas Jefferson married Martha Wells Skelton, a widow, and took her to live with him at the mountain top of his partly constructed house in Monticello. There he had constructed in the acres of land his father had inherited him after he had died, when Thomas Jefferson was only 14. Thomas Jefferson and her had their honeymoon in Monticello, and they both played musical duets together. Jefferson was left to take care of 11,000 acres of land that belonged to Martha's father and her half-siblings, who were 1/4 African American and 3/4 white, but were slaves. She gave birth to 7 children in less than 14 years. On September 1782, Martha Jefferson died, leaving a very depressed Thomas Jefferson. She was already weak after giving birth to 7 children in less than 14 years, but when they had to flee from Lord Cornwallis to their lonely house in Bedford, Martha felt worse, and her 16-week-old daughter Lucy died after weeks after, and then Martha died 4 weeks after giving birth to her last child. After Martha's death, he kept their slaves and part of her family. Sally was there, which he had 6 children with, but only 4 of them survived. She was African American. When she was brought to Europe to be a servant, she got pregnant, and he asked her to come back to America with him, and he would grant their children freedom. Of Burgess in 1765 as only a student. He got to witness Patrick's trendy denial of his stamp act. He was shy and didn't speak much, but wrote down everything he could possibly write down. He gained the Virginia bar in 1765, and he was also accepted into the House of Burgess in 1769. He was a quiet one, but his writings proved him to be a very important member. Since then, his involvement in the Revolution began to be more noticeable. Thomas wrote an article called A Summary View of the Rights of British America about his theory of the rights of people and self-government. His article was later published when he fell ill on the road and was sent to England and to all over the colonies. People started to recognize him and his powerful words that were not spoken but read. Edmund Burke also helped spread the idea that Jefferson had written after feeling sympathetic over the colony situation and made Thomas Jefferson known in farther places. Elected into the Second Continental Congress in 1776. By 1774, he was involved in opposing the British rule. At the age of 33, he was chosen to write the draft of the Declaration of Independence because he was a powerful writer and a Virginia representative. He became the Declaration of Independence main author. John Adams corrected it, and Benjamin Franklin embedded it. On July, the Declaration of Independence was turned to the Congress, who modified it and changed some grammar mistakes, and the Declaration of Independence was passed and approved on the 4th of July. The Declaration was a list of grievances that were listed about the problems that the colonies had against the mother country, England. This was written about the colonies' independence and broke the tie with the mother country, stating all men are equal in rights, regardless of the birth, wealth, or status. During the Revolution, for 2 years, he was elected as governor of in 1779 after beating Patrick Henry. He was also chased by the British and had to go hide and leave his home. The British and had to go to hide and leave his home, which he was later called a coward for not fighting the enemy. In 1781, he retired and went to his house of Monticello to his wife and family. There he wrote the notes on the state of Virginia. In the notes of the state of Virginia, he talks about the economy, the state's natural resources, expressed his belief of having the church and state separate, having a constitutional convention, and having certain liberties, and he also believed that blacks and whites could not live in a free society. Thomas was also the Secretary of State underneath George Washington. Here is a note on the state of Virginia. There was a lot of competition as Thomas ran to be president in 1796. He lost to John Adams by 3 electoral votes, and now he had to be the vice president. John Adams by 3 electoral votes, and now he had to be the vice president under a person he wasn't very fond of because of a flaw in the Constitution. 4 years later, he beat John Adams and became the president. It was a battle against Federalists. When he became a president, he believed that he had saved America because, according to him, the Federalists were running America by putting too much power in the hands of the central government. Jefferson was first president to be inaugurated. He also created the Democratic-Republican Party. As president, he was able to cut debt by 1/3. He sent naval soldiers to fight the soldiers that were attacking American soldiers and stealing ships and the supplies on the ships. On 1883, he was able to get the land called the Louisiana Purchase from Napoleon, who had to sell it because he could not guard it. No, I'm not even done with that one yet. I need it up here. It cost only $15,000 and expanded from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. He then sent Meriwether Lewis and William Clark to explore the land, and they found Indians, new type of plants, and new type of animals. They also made a geographical advice. He wanted to keep America from fighting, so he closed down all the trading with other countries, which resulted in the Embargo Act. This made America into a factory-building industry. The Embargo Act of 1887 was repealed in 1809. Later, he didn't run for president and went home, where he created the University of Virginia. Thomas Jefferson had been clinging to life before he died, and he kept asking what day it was. At the age of 83, in his home of Monticello, on the same day of the Declaration of Independence that his nephew had told him that it was the 4th of July, he took his last breath. On the same day that the Declaration of Independence had its 50th anniversary. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, ma'am, with glasses and the red shirt.
What did Thomas Jefferson believe about the Constitution?
That is a very good question. You see, Thomas also went to the Constitutional Convention, but mostly got along with James Madison, an associate from Virginia. He was at favor of accepting the Constitution and making the federal government stronger. He wasn't fully sure of ratifying the Constitution, since it didn't have the Bill of Rights. The rights that Jefferson wanted were freedom of assembly, speech, and religion. Are there any more questions?
Yes, what did Jefferson do for the school he built?
Well, when he went back to Monticello, he decided to do the University of Virginia, and he designed the curriculums, the architecture, and the first class was in 1852. Are there any more?
There any fun facts?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mommy. Yes, Thomas Jefferson loved mockingbirds, so he would he would get them as pets, and he loved how they looked, their colors, and he loved to hear them sing. He also, for $23,950, he donated $6,400. Thanks for coming to the museum. I hope you had fun and would like to come again. Bye. During the
face.
revolution.
You can't see your face. That's why I tried to move it.
During the revolution for 2 years. Okay, just leave it like that.
I mean, let's start off.
No, leave it. Okay. No, what are you doing? See, you can totally notice when I'm talking. Yeah, let's do that whole scene again.
What's that?
There we go. Look, it looks pretty close. From close to far. No, actually, no. I needed to go from close on Martha to let her pan out to both of them. Okay?
Hold on. Her hair's messed up. Cut. Till it's all blown away. From the shadow of it.
There we go, like this. Look.
But they're always standing because there's a maid.
No. What are you doing? I saw him stop. Oh my god. And at the age of 16, he later moved on to oh my gosh.
To oh my gosh. He later moved on to oh my gosh.
Here we have a pic. Okay. Here we have a picture of. Here we have a picture of the William College. Okay. Here we have a picture
Raise your
of
hand.
the William and Mary College. Okay. Here we have a picture. It's okay. No, because I can't be in the picture because the picture's gonna be on top of my hand.
I know, but right there you can't see your hand, so you have to put it up
Okay.
here-ish.
I'm just gonna put it on the side, please. Here we have a picture of the William and Mary College in Wilkesburg that he went to at the age of 16. Can you see me now? Okay. Here we have Here we have a picture of the.
Just touching the screen. I'm not recording.
Can you tell I'm reading?
No.
Thomas Jefferson was elected to the Second Continental Congress and oh my gosh, what?
Nothing.
Why are you laughing?
Okay, I'll stop laughing. I'm just really tearful today. So, we're never gonna finish this.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Why? Did he have a dog? He should have had a dog. Oh, okay, otra vez.
No! Go, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
The Declaration of Independence. On July the birth, wealth, or status.
Is that all?
Cut!